Hello everyone, welcome to Cook It Out. A very happy new year to all of you. And one good thing that has happened in this new year is Cook It Out family is now more than 30,000 people strong. Today in this video, I am going to make a recipe that is so nutritious, so delicious, yet so simple that you'll be making it for yourself every single day, I'm sure. We are going to make our classic Dal Khichdi today, yes. And one more thing, in this video, I'll show you something really interesting that I found out just a few days back. So please stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. I have half a cup of rice over here. This is Sona Masuri rice. I really like this variety of rice because of its texture and grain size. And then I have half a cup of Moong Dal, the yellow lentil. You might notice that the grains are not very bright yellow. That's because this is unpolished Moong Dal. Yes, in the market sometimes you get Moong Dal that looks really nice and shiny and yellow. That is most probably polished, so please don't go for that. This is also half a cup. You can choose any other variety of lentils as well, but this goes best with this particular recipe. Before we turn on the gas, we need to rinse both of these, so just take them in a container together. There's no need to rinse them separately. You must be wondering, do we need to soak them? No, you don't need to soak them. All you need to do is take this and rinse it 2 to 3 times with water. As you can see, they're rinsed. Alright, so now let's start the cooking process. Let me turn the gas on. Okay, high heat, put the pressure cooker on. If your pressure cooker is wet, let it get dry on high heat first and then let it become nice and hot. So once your cooker is nice and hot and dry, we need to put some cumin seeds in. You might have seen in my earlier videos that if you dry roast spices for just 30 seconds, it enhances their flavor. So that's what we are gonna do. So I will take just around half a teaspoon of jeera. Leave it there for 30 seconds like that. Okay, so just in 30 seconds, our jeera is nice and aromatic. Now is the time for some oil. As usual, I am using refined sunflower oil. You can use any refined oil. You can use any source of fat whatsoever. You can also use olive oil or ghee. I use refined sunflower oil because it is a really good source of vitamin E. Just around 1 teaspoon of oil in. Stir things up a bit. So as you can see, the cumin is nicely coated with the oil now. Alright, so I can hear the cumin crackling, which means that the oil is nice and hot. And now what we do is, we just throw this all in. What is this? The rice and dal that we just rinsed. And now we need to put in some water, yes. So the proportions that I have worked out, I have cooked this recipe so many times, I know the proportions, and what works best for me is half a cup of rice, half a cup of dal, and 5 cups of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last cup of water I'll just put it in this bowl so that it takes away all the rice and dal that are stuck over here. Just stirring it and throwing it all in. So here it is, 5 cups of water in. Now's the time to put some spices and seasonings in. First things first, we need salt. This recipe needs a good amount of salt because rice and dal need a lot of help. 2 teaspoons of salt, so 1 and 2 teaspoonfuls of salt in. Next, we need some compounded asafoetida, that is Heeng. Now this is really good for digestion, so I will put around 1/3 of a teaspoon of that inside. Then we have some red chilli powder. Yes, I love to put red chilli powder in recipes which have lentils because lentils are nice and dense and heavy, and this red chilli gives it a zing, a sort of acidic kick. Complements the flavor of lentils really well. So I am going to put half a teaspoon of red chilli powder in. Of course, you can change the quantities based on your preferences. Then we need to put some turmeric, some haldi. Yes, Dal Khichdi, which doesn't look yellow, just looks pathetic. So 1/3 of a teaspoon would be enough. And then we need this. What is this? Tej patta, bay leaves. Bay leaves have a very subtle fragrance to them. They add to the sweetness. They really go along with the flavor of the lentils. So whenever you're cooking any lentil dish, dal or rajma or anything that has pulses in it, take 2 or 3 bay leaves. I have 3 of them over here. Just snap them in half and throw them in. If you have dry, you can use them. If you have fresh bay leaves, nothing better than that. Alright, so as you can see, I have put all my spices and seasonings inside. Now, the next step in this process is to cover this up and wait. As simple as that. So what we need to do, take a lid, take off this whistle for safety purposes. Now, we'll wait for the first whistle at high heat. After the first whistle is done, we'll wait for the second whistle, but we'll turn the heat to simmer for that. After the second whistle is done, we'll turn the heat off completely and we'll wait for the steam to go away. And yeah, the recipe will be almost done by then, because I have a secret ingredient that I will put at the end, so please wait for it. And while we wait for the first whistle, you remember in the beginning of the video I told you that I have something really special for you? Yeah, I'll just show you. Okay, so what do I have over here? Well, this is called Pro-V. I just found out about it a few days back. Protein spread. Yes, you heard me correct. So this tiny little sachet has 10 grams of protein in it. It's so easy to carry. You can put it on bread. You can eat it as it is. You can even put it in a milkshake. You can carry this around with you if you're traveling. I especially love the hazelnut flavor. Yeah, this is super amazing. First whistle. Okay, after the first whistle, let's turn it to a simmer. Turn the heat to low. Okay, so I recommend that you try these. If you want to, go to prov.in, and when you're ordering, just use the coupon code COOKITOUT10. That'll give you a nice discount. Second whistle. All of this that is happening over here, this is expected, okay? So don't worry about it. Now, before anything else, let's just turn the gas off. Don't worry about the spillover. It happens every time I cook khichdi. My Nani ji tells me that this happens because we have less oil inside. If you want to put more oil, well, be my guest, but I want to keep the macronutrients under control. Now, once we've turned the heat off, we need to wait for some time. I'm sure you can hear that the steam is coming out of there. Once the steam dies out completely, then we will open the pressure cooker. Never try to open the pressure cooker while the steam is still inside. You are calling for a disaster. Okay, everything will splash on your face. You'll have burns, cooking failure. No one wants that. So let the steam die out. The cooking process inside is still going on. Please don't disturb it. Alright people, so after 5-10 minutes the steam has died out completely. Let's take off the whistle. Always open the lid after taking the whistle out. Alright, safety measures. So let's open it up. Oh, smells amazing. Here you go. As you can see, now you must be wondering, but this looks very dry. Okay, I'll show you what. Just stir it around. And now you'll be able to see the actual texture. Here it is. It's not too runny, it's not too liquidy, it's not too thick either. This is the perfect consistency that I like. If you want it to be more liquidy, more runny, you can put more water. If you want it to be thicker, you can start off with less water, or you can reduce water by keeping it at high heat for some time. Now's the time for the secret ingredient. Pa-pa-ra-ra. Some of you would have recognized what this is. Yes, this is Desi ghee. My Nani ji, my grandmother, made it at home. So this is, I can't explain how good it smells. This is pure Desi ghee made from good buffalo milk. Now you can get Desi ghee in the market as well. That is also good. Just choose one that has the least amount of trans fat in it. 2 spoons of Desi ghee in. This is approximately 2 teaspoons of Desi ghee. You can avoid this entirely if you are cutting down on calories. So after putting in the secret ingredient, let's just stir this. Oh, now it smells divine. Now's the time to serve it. Let me just show you. To make it even more presentable, let's use some dhania. Yes, coriander, cilantro leaves. So I'm going to just place them on top. You must be wondering, why didn't I make any tadka? Why didn't I put more spices? Why didn't I use onions or tomatoes? See, this is the way I prefer to eat it. If you want to do a tadka, then yes, you can do it. Take some hot oil, put some garlic in, put some onions in, a little bit of ginger, some mustard seeds, some curry leaves perhaps, a little bit of black cumin, kalonji, yeah, and you can take all of it and throw it in. That's gonna add some extra flavor, but you can improvise with this recipe. What I have told you is the very basic. As it is amazingly delicious. This goes really well with pudina chutney. If you want the link to that recipe, it's right here, also in the descriptions box. It also goes really well with some plain yogurt, that is dahi. Looks really tempting right now. So the calorie and macronutrient information of this recipe is on your screen as usual, because this is a cook it out video. Let me just taste a little bit of it. Alrighty people, so that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the recipe, please hit that like button down below. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or anything that you want to say, use the comment section down below. Please share it with your friends, because as you can see, this is a really helpful recipe. And finally, don't forget to subscribe for more detailed recipes with calorie and macronutrient information. Bye bye, see you soon.